Okay, my friends, so we are currently editing my second book called Dying with Regrets. This is the second from last chapter, and the title is called The Choice Is Yours. So, your dreams are literally fading away every single day. Because each day you put off taking action to move closer towards your dream life, the further away it will get from you. Stop trying to convince yourself of all of the excuses for why you can't take action today, because there is no perfect time to start. There is no week, month or year that's going to be better than this one, and there is no time or situation that's going to be greater than the next. The only time you have is this moment in time right now. So use the certainty of this moment in time to start making moves towards the place where you ultimately want to be. Of course you are going to fail and fuck things up, but realise that fucking up is the first step to finding out. Growth is painful, change is painful, but nothing is as painful as staying stuck somewhere you don't belong. Know that the safe bet in life is robbing you from fully experiencing the real adventure that this priceless opportunity has to offer, and depriving you of getting what it is that you really want. Because if you play small, you stay small. If you play this game of life wrapped up in fear from inside the tall walls of your comfort zone, then you stand no chance of getting what you truly want, as the fears you don't face become your limits. So always remember that there is no growth in the comfort zone, but there is also no comfort in the growth zone. What words do you want engraved on your tombstone? I wrote here, for instance, mine would have been Ryan Nurse, 1993 to 2011, car mechanic who let fear stop him from living the incredible life that was always there for him to take. Just think, if my dad would have procrastinated and never taken action, then these words that you are reading in this book would have never been thought, written, printed or published. Know that action destroys procrastination, so replace the fear of failure with the fear of living in regret. Then watch as everything will change. Don't just read my story, write your own. Do you want to just exist, or do you want to fully fucking live? Of course, choosing to chase your dreams doesn't guarantee success, but deciding to stay stuck somewhere you don't belong will only result in one certain outcome, which is eternal discomfort and unhappiness. Life is full of ups and downs and is really unpredictable. The best way to have some sort of prediction over your future is to do everything you possibly can to create it. Yes, it's going to be challenging, but what's worse is to put it off for a non-existent time in the future. You get to choose your hard. Realise that the road to heaven often feels like hell, but the road to hell often feels like heaven. So choose your hard wisely, because you're going to either live easy now and hard later, or hard now and easy later. Remember, the choice is always yours. If you don't try, then you won't fail. If you don't fail, then you won't learn. If you don't learn, then you won't grow. If you don't grow, then you won't succeed. The only ever guarantee you'll get from not trying is to remain the same. However, when you take a chance on yourself, the possibilities are absolutely endless. The scariest moment isn't failing, but it's realising you never even tried. I once read a book that really inspired me. It was written by Bronnie Ware. This was a care nurse who spent years supporting people in their final days. She listened as they reflected on their lives, and what they shared was not about achievements, possessions or status. It was about regrets. Honest, raw and deeply human regrets. As I read their words, I felt something shift inside me. These were not just regrets of the dying, these were gentle warnings for the livings. Messages for anyone who still has time to change. Here are the 5 most common regrets people share as they approach the end of their lives. Number 1, I wish I'd had the courage to live a life true to myself, not the life others expected of me. This was the most frequent shared regret. So many people reached the end of their lives and realised they had not truly lived. They had followed the rules, played it safe, and made choices based on what others wanted for them. Their own dreams were buried beneath fear and obligation. They ignored the quiet voice inside that kept reminding them there was more to life. This regret is a powerful reminder to honour your truth while you still have the chance. Number 2, I wish I hadn't worked so hard. No one, when faced with the end, wishes they had spent more time at work. What they long for are the precious moments they missed. Time with loved ones, watching their children grow, laughing at the dinner table, feeling the sun on their face. The things that bring true joy and connection. Sure, work is a part of life, but it should never cost you the things that matter most. Number 3, I'd wish I'd had the courage to express my feelings. Many people admit they had suppressed their emotions. They had kept quiet to avoid conflict or to protect others. But in doing so, they buried their truth. They regretted not saying what they truly felt, whether it was love, anger, pain or joy. And as a result, they carried unspoken words to the grave. The message here is simple. Speak your truth while you have the time. Say what needs to be said and share what is on your heart. Number 4, I wish I had stayed in touch with my friends. As life moves forwards, friendships can drift. Responsibilities, routines and distractions take over. But when the end approaches, what people long for most is connection. They miss their old friends, the laughter, the memories, the sense of belonging. Many wished they had reached out, made that call or sent that message. Remember, relationships are what truly matter, so nurture them while you can. Number 5, I wish I'd let myself be happier. This final regret is perhaps the most heartbreaking. So many people admit they do not So many people admitted they did not realise that happiness was within their reach. They remained stuck in old habits and patterns. They worried about what others thought. They feared change. They believed they did not deserve more. But looking back, they could see how often they had denied themselves. The truth is that happiness is not something we earn, it's something we allow. So choose joy, choose presence, and choose life. After reading this book, I knew that I'd really regret not taking calculated risks, not telling the people that mean the most to me how much they actually mean, not following my passions, and not travelling the world. This book was another reminder for why I should go all in on pursuing my dream life, because life is happening right now. Of course, be present and live for today, but also work towards potentially achieving something far greater in the future. We don't know how far away the finish line is, and it could be a lot closer than we think. This is why we should take uncomfortable action whilst we can. Nobody was ever thrilled that they played it safe and put off pursuing the life that they dreamt of. So let this also be a reminder to stop waiting for and start creating more opportunities in your life. If you are still sat on the fence whether to go all in on your dreams and are experiencing imposter syndrome, then I want you to try replacing imposter with improver. Because we are all imposters when it comes to starting something new. And we are all likely to be shit to begin with. But you should never let that stop you from starting, because the only place to start is the start. Give yourself permission to try, to fail, to learn and to grow. But don't let the fear of failure or looking like a beginner destroy your dreams. Because every winner was once a beginner, and everyone who you look up to as confident and successful still feels like an imposter from time to time. However, they just don't let those limiting beliefs stop them from achieving what they set out to do in the first place. So start scared, start confused, but start now. Because with familiarity, fear decreases. The truth is that nobody knows what they are doing when they first start something new. But I see so many people letting their own limiting beliefs stop them achieving success. Or even worse, they let other people's thoughts and opinions stop them from succeeding. Of course, those limiting beliefs are going to pop up. Most days, telling you why you can't do it. Just make sure you start, because someone woke up this morning and plucked up the courage to quit their job, to follow their dreams, and to go all in on creating a life of their... Hold on. Yeah, here we go. Sorry, let me just read that bit again. Just make sure you start, because someone woke up this morning and plucked up the courage to quit their job, to follow their dreams, and to go all in on creating a life of abundance for themselves. But do you know what happened? They didn't make it through the morning, and sadly died with all their greatness still trapped inside them, or trapped within them. All of those unanswered internal whispers which were inviting them on an epic journey. All of those plans they made but never acted on. All of those future dreams, desires, wants and needs, all gone forever. Please don't be that next person. That's the end of that chapter, my friends. The next chapter is literally going to be the last chapter of the book, of the edits. Of course, I'm going to go back over the edits. I'm reading through it back now. And then I'm going to send it back to my editor. She's going to probably send it to me, and we're going to be backwards and forwards. But look, if you like the sound of this book and you don't want to get to the end of your life with regrets, please get on the wait list. It's dyingwithregrets.ryannurse.com. Click the link in my bio, send me a DM, and I'll sort you out, my friends. But yeah, seriously, these are some of the most important chapters at the end here, and they really touch home with me even just reading it back now, and I'm sure you too, because no one wants to get to the end realising that there was still so much more for them to discover, to design, and to have in their lives. But so many people sadly take their greatness to the grave. Don't let that be you, my friends. Thank you so much. See you on the next live. Bye-bye.